Okay, in case you were wondering which one of us is 14, it's this guy here. My name is Nick as well, though, but my name is Nick Fast. I'm a teacher in the Winnipeg School Division, and I'm Nick's teacher, and I have the pleasure of welcoming him up here on stage and giving you a little introduction on how he got here. I teach grade 8 in a school in the Winnipeg School Division, and Nick happens to be in my class, and I teach art, but I don't get to teach him art. That's sort of a strange way the schedule works, but I teach him language arts and social studies. We had a quizam, I like to call them quizams, that way if I say test, the kids don't take it quite as seriously. If I say quizam, they seem to take it a little more seriously. So we had a quizam one day, and at the end of the quizam, like some of you, you might have time to do a little doodling, turn the exam over on the back, quizam, sorry, and didn't want to scare you. Write on the back, doodle, draw, whatever. I used to do that. And sometimes I came up with things that I thought, that's kind of looks pretty good. And then I, handed it in. Well, that's what Nick did one day. And he was done a little early. And he started working on something. And he handed it in. And see if I can get it working here. And he handed this in on the back of his exam. Whoop, sorry. There we go. Thank you. And I looked at it and I said, "You just did this right now?" He said, "Yeah." And I said, "Wow." And so I put it on my bulletin board beside my desk there. And now I have a bit of a collection of these little drawings beside my desk. And I said to him, "Nick, I think you need to share your talent. You need to share what you can do with people your age, with everyone that is willing to, take a look at it, because I think you have something really important to share." Nick's gift might not be, to be this next great speaker or whatever, but he can communicate in a way that maybe many of us, me included, cannot. And I want you to welcome Nick Harper this morning.
My name is Nick Harper. I am 14 years old and I go to Stanley Knowles here in Winnipeg. I am a Canadian Cree and Ojibwa. My mom is from Sagan and my dad is from St. Therese Reserve. My last name is Harper, like some famous people you might know. Elijah Harper is a famous Manitoba chief and politician. He won an award as the same name as my school. I also share my last name with this guy. When I was born on December 24th, 1998, in a Pine Falls hospital, my mom named me Nicholas after another famous person named Nicholas. When I was about 2, my mom and I moved to Winnipeg's North End. At the time, my brother Brendan was living with my dad in St. Therese. When I was about 4 years old, my brother came to live with my mom and me. Shortly after Brendan moved in with us, we were put into foster care. We lived in about 3 different foster homes, but my brother and I were always together. One of the homes was out on the Peguis Reserve. I remember the hot summer days on the reserve. There was no cable TV, so my brother and I played games and built a treehouse. Times were good, although I missed living with my mom. After my time at the Peguis home, my uncle in Sagan decided to take us into his home. He had gotten a job with foster care. My brother and I lived there for about a year, and then we moved back to Winnipeg to live with our mom. Those were good times in my mind. We went places together as a family, and I met my 2 baby sisters for the first time. This arrangement lasted for 2 years. When I was 11, my mom started to find it difficult to take care of us. Money was tight, and she felt like she needed to put us back in foster care. We were given a choice to go back to Peguis or move into a foster home in Winnipeg. My baby sisters went to live with our stepdad far from Winnipeg, and my brother and I went to live with our foster dad, Eddie. During this time, my mom was having trouble with the law and also spent time in rehab to get help with her drinking. Our new foster home is a fun place. Eddie is a veteran who spent time in the British Army. He is a funny guy, and people call him Shrek because big ears and a temper like an ogre. He took care of us and helped me to learn read better. Within only 3 months of being there, my reading got better and better. Eddie took us on fishing trips and to movies. It was during my first days at Eddie's place I began to draw. Eddie's an artist, and likes to draw, and it made me interested in drawing too. He bought supplies like paper, paintbrushes, and pencils so I could do my own art. At school, our librarian told us about an artist named Emily Carr. She showed us her paintings of trees, totem poles, and ravens. This got me into aboriginal art. The first thing I learned to draw was an eagle. I thought the eagle was a really cool bird. It could fly higher and see farther than any other bird. I really like its feathers, and I worked hard on drawing them right. Eddie would always tell me my drawings looked really good, and it made me proud. Whenever I got a chance, I would do my art. Sometimes it was in art class or at home, or if there was free time in class. This year I met Mr. Fast. I drew him a couple of pictures and he liked them very much. He encouraged me to share my art with others by being part of this event. I decided to create a series of pictures based on the 7 teachings. Today I would like to use my art to share with you the 7 sacred teachings of my people. The first 7 teachings is love. This is represented by the eagle. The eagle is the most powerful bird, and love is the greatest, most powerful medicine. This is the picture of the bison. The bison teaches about respect. My people had great respect for the bison because it provided us with all the things we needed for life, like food, shelter, and clothing. People also need to respect the bison. All other animals turn and run when they are afraid. The bison is the one that does not. You must respect the bison that is standing its ground. This is a picture I did of the bear. The bear represents courage. One of the fiercest animals is a mother bear. She will let nothing harm her cubs. If you see a cub in the wild, you should stay away. A mother bear could be close by. This next picture represents Sabe. You might know him as Sasquatch. To my people, he represents honesty. Legend says that he walked among the people to remind them to be honest to the Creator and each other. The next sacred teaching is wisdom, and it is represented by the beaver. The beaver is a very wise animal. It knows how to make dams and lodges from the trees it cuts down. And no man had told the beaver No man has told the beaver how to do this. The beaver's wisdom comes from the Creator. This is the picture of the wolf. The wolf represents the teaching humility. The root word for humility is humble. Being humble means putting others' needs before your own. Wolves live in packs. They look out for each other. A wolf cannot survive. I did this picture of the turtle to represent truth. The turtle was present when the man gave Creator the 7 teachings. It is her job to make sure that all the 7 teachings are known and that we understand the truth of them. Okay. In my life, I had some challenges. I hadn't been able to always live with my family. I had to live in a number of different homes. I also have something that I deal with called FASD. Some of you might not know what these letters stand for. They stand for Fatal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder. The way someone gets FASD, if their mother drinks alcohol when she is pregnant, this is what happened to me. This had made some things in my life difficult. For example, I find it tough to learn things in math. My brain doesn't function at area so well. If I work out a math question with some help and I get it, but I might forget the next day. Sometimes this makes me frustrated and a little mad. Even though I have FASD, having it doesn't make me upset. I don't get mad at Mom for what she did. It wasn't a mistake, and we all make mistakes. Even though I face challenges because of my FASD, I know my future is bright. I have my art that gives me focus. I have the 7 teachings of my people that I know in my heart, and use them as a guide for life. I have the people around me, like my family, my foster dad, Eddie, my brothers, Brendan, Sebastian, Hattie, and my sisters, Hannah and Jehan. I also have my mom, my cookum, and my grandpa. Maybe one of you has experienced challenges in your life. Maybe you don't think you have anything good about that you're good at. I would like to tell you to find that thing you're good at, and if you can't find it, ask someone for help. May good. Thank you.